Why y'all for not y'all, Miss Gay. I'm doing my best to stop saying y'all. I prefer to, despite the fact that I grew up with y'all and like literally while talking to family over the past few days, everybody says y'all. I'm doing my best to drop that because I'd rather just be respecting the fact that I'm doing my best to make sure that I keep going. Okay, like light skinned people generally should not be using AAV or AAV. Or should not be, period. Like, and I know I've been gifted that, and also I have a mixed heritage, but doing my best. But anyways, Gue amigues. Let me situate this. Also, just so people are aware how these conversations are probably going to go. I will probably not be on here long. My hands are doing much better, as you can see. I know I haven't been on here, but if you've been on Telegram on Pocket Charm, you've seen the state these hands were in. Because of, part of me wants Pan to be in the picture, part of me wants all the stuff in the background to be in the picture, but I'm not worrying about it right now. Also, he doesn't want to be recorded too much when he's sleeping. I was going to put my partial in, so it wasn't just, like just my 5 teeth on top, but I feel like it's really important with everything that's going on to just continually talk about this. So, firstly, I know a lot of people are stressed out. Whether they've had I feel like everybody's had serious run-ins with white supremacy, no matter what your skin tone is, and no matter how you identify, because this has been a white supremacist country since the country, and I'm in the United States since it formed, and it's also been that way for like about 532 years now. And I know as somebody who's only mixed, we come from the upper northeast coast of Turtle Island, Michichiminiku. And we were invaded in 1497. So I have a lot of trickle-down history that I've been taught. And with it being Native American Heritage Month or Indigenous Heritage Month or American Indian Heritage Month, if you're not Indigenous, you should probably not be saying American Indian Heritage Month. Many of us from the East Coast say it because that's how we were labeled, and that's legally still how many of us are labeled to this day. So it's pointing out the problem by saying it, pointing out the history of the problem. So with it being the month it is, I always firstly just get like, I've always had feels, and it's probably, I can't wait till BB's home because go take care of their kid. There was a lot of cops lying going on. We were stuck outside on the curb for a while, a long while, and then maybe go into that later in here. Otherwise, I'll do it in a different video. But I bring all this up to say Donnie winning the election has never been surprising to me. It's very windy here. One of our doors has been reacting to the wind, and because of the cops coming, the dogs have been upset. So give me 1 second, guys. Hold on, Moo. I will fix that. I will fix it. See, there's nothing. No police here to scare you again. I know. I'm gonna close this. There you go. Wallalin. Anyways, wallalin for the patients. But, so, if my hands are better, I would have the natives fry bread truck shirt on. I would be having my jewelry. I'd be doing all the things, but I just want to get on here and be like, hey. And before I just and if I even stay on here long for storytelling, because this hurts and it makes my adrenaline very high, so I've been very panic attacky for the past couple of days, not because of the election. partially because the month it is. Because, people still like walking around saying, oh, but, Thanksgiving is a family holiday, so I celebrate it, even though that holiday is just about continued genocide of my people. And it is. And if you want to celebrate it, if you want to celebrate enabling genocide for more than 500 years, and not just genocide of indigenous people, but obviously the erasure of also people that came over here that are not colonially gendered, binary male, female, etc. Because again, indigenous queerness, and I'm doing this because we obviously didn't call it queerness, but be it like Polonachij or anything else, and nowadays called Two-Spirit, which is an additional umbrella handle for many of us to use when we're speaking to the English folk. Iglesia. And this will be rambly because again, it's me, but I'm also in pain. Much less than when we were, over in Confederate territory on the East Coast that we moved from recently. I can't tell you how nice it is to be away from that, but we'll go into that another time too. If I wasn't living with my partner of 16 years now, who has had to go through the long process of getting to know me as an indigenous person, because we all know what it's like to have to code switch in relationships in some sense or another, because everyone does it. And then they learn not to, thankfully, because that's how the relationship gets healthy. If I wasn't living with my partner right now, and I wasn't living with a friend that I've known for 20 years, I've known both of them for about 20 years now, who are also extremely focused on mutual aid, taking care of our community around us. Be it as simple as putting chalk outside for the kids, which the cops took, by the way. They took the chalk that is outside for the children. The children who get to draw all over our wall outside because they need to be able to express themselves. The cops took that. They came here, pulled us out of our house, hurt me more than I was already hurting, and they were very aware that they were hurting me, and they were fine with that. Don't worry, City Hall is a couple blocks over from me, so as I'm capable of actually going outside and, talking, I'll do what I do. Are you near City Hall? Because besides, engaging with your community and helping one another out, and obviously, respecting your boundaries, getting to know your boundaries, if your boundaries as simple as mine is, if you voted for Trump, you probably don't want to talk to me. If you do want to talk with me, that's fine. But you don't want to be talking to me. Because it's not going to go well. I'm just going to walk away from you. Possibly with, giving you, some history, but, probably not, because I know what happens when people get told the history. It's not that they don't believe and they don't want to hear it. It's like Donald Trump said, want to take it back 300 years. You want to know what was going on 300 years ago? Besides, slavery? Complete lack of workers' rights? My people getting shipped all across the world, non-consensually, also slavery. Women not having rights. And by women, I mean anybody that identifies as a woman, but obviously back then that wasn't how the definition worked. It was if you had a vagina. And I guess I would then get labeled as a woman if we are going back 300 years by settler colonial white standards. And obviously, that can be terrifying sounding. But again, I find for a lot of people, the people that are, dealing with the, how could we shock and surprise terror are people that do not live with this on a regular basis. And this isn't me shaming anybody, because I do think everybody lives with it in some sense or another. I mean, after all, you're told you have to go to work despite what your health is to pay the system for you to be able to live somewhere. That is a settler colonial construct, not just, for this hemisphere, but also when, be it Ireland, Scotland, really anywhere in Europe when the people with the most money and the most physical power went, okay, we're the monarchs and all of you can just, work until you're dead. You're not supposed to make it past like 30, 40 years old probably, and that's fine because then your kids can just pick up the slack because we don't have anti-child labor laws. Oh, none of you want to do that? Okay, so we're taking over the space. We're going to tell you you can either get shipped to another hemisphere to do the work for us while, murdering the people that live in that hemisphere who actually will show you how to live here healthily, will let you live for free on the land. Don't get me wrong, like so many people hear stories about, like indentured servants running away to the Indians, to the indigenous people. There's reasons for that. The reason is, why would you not run away if your choice is, okay, you have to clear this land that you had to pay for? Like, you had to clear this land in 2 years of all the rocks and trees. Otherwise, you can't have the land. The crown will take it back. You become what's called road people. And this is, possibly after you're freed from indentured servitude, which, how many of you to this day feel free of indentured servitude? And obviously this is not to the extent that is in, say, Sudan right now, as in this hemisphere right now, in the United States, Canada, Mexico, ranging all down. But that doesn't change the fact that everything in the system, be it, like prisons, enforced taxes, etc., those are all colonial constructs. And again, I'm saying this not just because it's Native American Heritage Month. And for those of you that are like, I don't identify as Native American, neither do I. Again, I was originally east of the Mississippi. I was born east of the Mississippi. It's west of the Mississippi that the Native American terminology comes in. And again, it's just new ways of coding people as ways to erase what's actually going on. And it's easy to find this out. You just have to talk to people. Maybe your neighbors are willing to have these conversations. Maybe they're not. Maybe they are because they are practiced in having these conversations with someone like you. Maybe they're not. That could be because they don't want to be freeing all of their relations from oppression. I mean, that is what everybody here gets taught from grade schools, that the indigenous people are dead. And the way you get anywhere in life is subjugating other people to bullying and harm and trauma until you get what you want. I mean, again, that's why Tony got elected. No one's surprised. I know there's plenty of people out here that are talking about but why does, why do the poor white people in the South still vote for this when they know it's not going to pan out for them? As somebody who literally survived living in a Confederate house for the past 4 years, and I didn't know it was going to be. I knew his friend through the kink community. They didn't really give us any warning. They were like, oh, COVID's happening, and people getting booted out to the streets in Lenape-Hoking because it's not considered Lenape-Hoking, which is land of Lenape. It's considered New York City and New Jersey. So when we came down, I wasn't really expecting to step into a house that was like, indigenous people don't have rights. We have pictures of this house had pictures of indigenous women being brutalized all over their house, along with a whole lot of other horribly racist, anti-black memorabilia, racist artifacts. But while there, because we had to survive there, as we've continued to do for a very long time now. I'm gonna not pick at my fingers because I know a lot of people have been doing that right now. Before I keep ranting, if you haven't checked out videos by Elliot Singh, by Oleyami Olorinati, by Fick FD Signifier, by, of course, Prince Shakur, highly appreciate. You should be. Lil Bill, you should be. I haven't checked the light skin white videos yet, for the most part. It's not me being mean and not wanting to give anybody traction or traffic or anything like that. It's just that I'm generally hearing from people that are extremely light skinned like me or white, the same usual thing, which is the grief lament and the what will we do? We're all going to die. And it's like I have a suggestion that will help you to feel less stressed right now. Make some pancakes and bring it to your local unhoused people. They're probably not very far from where you are. And so for some people, me saying that is going to make them feel, I think it's called cringe nowadays, mesque. I'm like turning 42, so besides making sure I am not uh, enabling, like white theft of black language. um, I also generally, a lot of the time, am like, they feel shame and weird and grossed out by the thought of, leaving chalk outside for the kids. I understand some areas it's illegal to actually be drawing with chalk on the sidewalk and could get fined or jailed. I'm very aware of that. I obviously do what you need to do to be safe. But here, to my knowledge, we can put chalk out for the kids and obviously for ourselves and the whole neighborhood. It's not just children that are drawing on the wall out there. And amazing things have been written and drawn, and I'll take more pictures later, and be putting out more chalk and the like. People are weirded out by the idea of giving people that don't have a safe place to sleep a safe place to sleep or live. Well, all in life that we have currently as safe as we can have, with cops coming and pulling us out of our space of living randomly in the middle of the night while we're trying to have dinner and watch Cherry Magic, the live version. I also watch the anime version. I enjoy both a lot, but I take a personal joy out of shows that actually allow brown skinned men to actually have queer relationships with one another on screen, because there seems to be a huge lack of that, and obviously other forms of melanated men, people that identify as men, be black or otherwise. But so we were watching that, yeah, we got pulled out. So for a lot of people, like, the idea of going to City Hall and even just sitting there and listening is shame inducing. But the thing is, if you're not going to this stuff, how are you going to know what's going on, short of being involved in organizations that are specifically keeping you informed and are being completely transparent about it? Like, we luck out. We have Fifth Sun Project out here. It's not like around the corner from me. It's like in the city proper. And they're amazing. Wherever you are, you should look up Fifth Sun Project. They're extremely helpful. New Gallery, another community center that's doing the exact same thing. Again, I wish I was closer, but I'm not. And so because of that, what I'm doing and what I've been having to be doing since we got here as best as I can, because pain and not being able to really go outside, and also during this month, I have a tendency to minimize the munches and get-togethers I go to, because I keep getting told by a lot of light-skinned people, the genocidal holidays or family holidays. I'm not here for that. I'm not going to stay around for that. It's not that I don't say anything about it. I do. Everybody in the area is very aware of my opinions about it. Go Quaitma. We'll go back out in a couple minutes, and this will help me to keep this short. I'm going to be checking in more. We are working on gardening here. Obviously, where we're at, it's a little bit more, we're a little bit more capable of gardening outside than plenty of other places. But if you're not working on, let's just move to the background. If you're not working on growing your own food, even if it's just herbs for yourself to start, working with one another to make sure those who need food have it. As somebody in poverty, I don't have money to be donating places, but I have my physical effort and time as I'm capable, and otherwise I can talk when I'm capable. We're going out. There's so many things you can do for yourself to help yourself out right now. And helping yourself out will help out your community. If you're in a community that does not want you there because of your gender, your race, your history, etc., you should be looking for people that do want you around. They do exist. If you're learning about mutual aid, check out Fab Socialism. They're on Patreon. I highly suggest them. And now I'm going to go outside with Mucho. But take care of one another. There will be more of these. Plenty of them will be me outside doing things. And have a wonderful morning day. We're going out. We're going out. It's okay. Have a wonderful morning day and take care of each other. Because why wouldn't you? Not at the expense of your own physical health, obviously. Take care of yourself too, always. But like, taking care of yourself shouldn't be at the expense of your community or your neighbors. Especially should not be at the expense of marginalized individuals of any kind. And so I've said this before, but anybody also that didn't vote for Kamala because they're black or a woman probably don't want to be talking to me anyways. If you didn't vote for Kamala because you are against genocide or you're against cop cities, we'll probably be having good talks with one another. Take care. And Namalti.